Dear Pastor Wale Adefarasin, I hope this finds you in good health. My name is Joseph Okechukwu. Sir, respectfully, I just want to ask, please, what happened? No, really, what went wrong? Pastor Wale, I'm making this video because you are one of the few people that I respect in Nigeria. When I stumbled on your video about the Christian genocide in Nigeria and America's proposed involvement, I was numbed out. I could not believe it.
Over 40 years that I have been a Christian, there have been killings in southern Kaduna, killings on the plateau. There have been riots. Sometimes, I think it was in France, an image of Prophet Muhammad was defaced. Who remembers that? And as a result of that, there were killings of Christians in Nigeria. And so it's nothing new. It doesn't amount to genocide. The way the West are talking about it, it's as if a Christian steps on the street, his head will be blown off. And I'm trying to understand this sudden love for Christians. Is it because we now have one of the largest refineries in the world and no longer have to ship raw materials abroad and bring the finished products? Or is it because of the 21st century minerals that we now have in our earth that they use to generate nuclear power for electric vehicles? Are those the reasons that our friends are threatening to invade our country to defend and protect Nigerian Christians? Selah.
Pastor Wale, you claimed in your video that for the 40 years that you have been a Christian, the killings have been going on in southern Kaduna, in Plateau, for 40 years, and that doesn't amount to genocide. I mean, do you not realize that in and of itself is a contradiction? You admit that killings have been going on for a whole 40 years, and still in the same breath claim that does not amount to genocide. How is that possible? But even beyond that, Pastor Wale, I want to ask you in all sincerity, in all honesty, do you want to tell me right now that you have never come across this plethora of evidence of killing, of systematic elimination of Christians in that part of Nigeria, the northeast, the northwest, the north central part of Nigeria, Benue, Plateau, southern Kaduna, and beyond? You want to tell me that these videos that are everywhere have been out there in the media for the past 10 years and more, that you've never come across any one of them, Pastor Wale? As a man of God, you mean you've never seen any one of those videos that we literally see on daily basis out of Nigeria? You've never read in the news, not once, not twice, multiple times, that Christian farmers in Benue State have actually lost dozens of their towns to terrorists who eventually renamed the towns and took them over, while the original Christian owners end up in IDP camps. You've never read that. You've never seen that, Pastor Wale. You are supposed to be the watchman. You are supposed to be a father and a protector to these Christians that have been challenged with insecurity. But you are now feigning ignorance of their predicament. How do you think God feels about this? Pastor Wale, even an unborn child knows what has been going on in Nigeria. Pastor Wale, there's no way on earth you can claim you've not seen the proof, the incontrovertible evidence out there for everyone to see. We have had foreigners from America, Europe, everywhere intervening. We have more than 4 to 5 million Christians in IDP camps scattered all over the place. And you say that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Even after the Americans that the government brought into Nigeria to come and fact find had concluded that there was genocide, the Christian pastor is saying that there is no genocide in Nigeria. Pastor Wale, even if you thought that the people who said there's a genocide against Christians were lying, Pastor Wale, there is a man called Issa El-Buba. He is living in the middle of this whole madness. The first thing you should have done as a man of God, as a child of God, would have been to call Issa El-Buba. Or you call even our Panampasi Paul that we all grew up listening to. They are all living in those places. Call him and say, Pastor Issa or Prophet Issa, what's going on? I hear all of this, I don't believe it. Is it true that there's actually a genocide going on against our brothers and sisters? Our brothers and sisters. And hear what Issa is going to tell you.
We all know that Christian communities were totally displaced. And we have recorded tens of thousands of Christians in the northern Nigeria that have been killed and their communities have been taken away. This is genocide. What is the meaning of genocide? I mean, the English definition is there. What genocide means.
And even if you refuse to believe what Issa tells you, why not take a trip to his church and go and see victims? What evidence do you have, Pastor Wale, to show that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria? When Issa El-Buba, who lives in the eye of the storm, has come out multiple times to declare that there is a massive genocide going on against Christians. When pastors are standing at the grave, multiple Christians were buried under in a mass grave, 500 buried in one day. The video is out there for you to see, Pastor Wale. The people who witnessed all of this are out there, ready to be interviewed, ready to carry you and take you there by the hand to see for yourself. And you claim there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Pastor Wale, have you forgotten that when Jonathan was in power, when the man was literally seen to be doing something against Boko Haram, when Boko Haram was still in its infancy, when they have not even gotten anywhere close to where they are today in extremism, Pastor Adeboye, who is almost like the father of all the preachers in Nigeria, was looking for 1 million man signature to go and carry out a protest against insecurity in Nigeria. Have you forgotten that Pastor Tunde Bakare was one of the people who led the Occupy Ojota and Occupy My 12 and all that stuff against the same regime? All of a sudden, we now go to a time when Boko Haram had grown wings and had gone haywire. And nobody is talking again. And even when they open their mouths to speak like you have just done, they either deflect, deny, or propagandize. How is this supposed to be an example of people who claim to be God's children? Can you not see how that you are already dividing the church along ethnic lines already? Can you not see that you have now played into the hands of the enemy? And as far as you're concerned, America is suddenly falling in love with Nigerian Christians when almost all the Pentecostal establishment in Nigeria today took their structure from the United States of America. Tell me which Pentecostal movement in Nigeria does not have a close partnership and tie with Americans. Americans have always loved Nigerian churches. Nigerian churches have always loved American churches. Americans actually midwifed what we call the Pentecostal revolution in Nigeria today. Their preachers, their singers, all the time show up in Nigeria. And Nigerian singers also are invited to America. How can you say they suddenly, as if we have been a pariah state that nobody wanted to have anything to do with? The relationship has always been there. America loving Nigerian Christians cannot be referred to as suddenly, Pastor Wale. Why all this deflection and denial and propaganda? How can a man of God be a part of this? You say America is coming because of minerals, Pastor Wale. What minerals? Do you have any idea how much minerals America has been blessed with? It will blow your mind. America has so much minerals that just 2 states alone can overwhelm whatever Nigeria think they have in terms of minerals. And you say it's because of minerals? What minerals are you talking about? You also mentioned this maybe because of your big oil company that Dangote, a private individual, has built. But Pastor Wale, you've been there watching as all our refineries in Nigeria went moribund. Nothing done about them. Nothing until Dangote went to build a refinery that when they produce oil, the cost of the oil is more expensive than the one that is imported into Nigeria. Remember, the one imported into Nigeria was taken from Nigeria, sent overseas, refined overseas, and then shipped back to Nigeria. Think about the logistics. And after all that, it still comes out cheaper than the one that Dangote is doing. And that's what you think America is envying you for. Do you have any idea, Pastor Wale, how much royalties you receive for your oil? Do you think that the Nigerian oil money has ever gone to the citizens of Nigeria? And today, Nigeria is one of the most indebted nations on earth. Don't you know that if the actual oil money for Nigeria is staying in Nigeria, working for Nigerians, that every single Nigerian on the street today will be a walking multi-millionaire billionaire? Where is all that money? Where is all that money, Pastor Wale? Have you ever bothered to ask? You think the Nigerian oil money belongs to you? The minerals you're talking about, who are the people sitting and controlling it today? The terrorists and those who fund them. Go and find out where Sambisa Forest is located. That's where the uranium is. That's where they're located. All the spots where they have the so-called minerals you think America is coming to take, all those spots are occupied by terrorists. One guy from Kogi showed the video, even used the Google map to show it. Everybody was silent. America wants to come for your oil when America has a giant Chevron. Chevron is in Nigeria, has been in Nigeria longer than most of you have been alive. Mobil has been there. All the affiliated companies have been in Nigeria operating. And America wants to come and take your oil. These guys have been there. And they are not just there, they are key players in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. Decision makers, you can't do much without them. And America wants to come. If America wants to come, why did they approve the sale of $346 million weapons to Nigeria? Arms deal signed by the Trump administration in April of this year. Not last year, not under Biden, this year under Trump. He signed $346 million arms deal for Nigeria to go and fight terrorism. And you claim that America cares about your oil. Gosh, may God have mercy on these people.